Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Radio Show, a once proud member of the now defunct Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Our favorite vampiress, Adrian Miller, is in as guest co-host. Holly Schock joins in and we talk on the phone with Bill Foster, actor, filmmaker, cowboy, and retired educator. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Hey, welcome to the Live Radio Show. Yay!
Ta-da!
Just in time. Welcome to the Live Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We got a great show coming up. My guest co-host for the evening, for the week, Adrian Miller, is waving to the microphone.
It makes for good audio.
Absolutely. Well, if you wave closer to the microphone, you catch the wind going across it. There you go. Perfect. All right.
All right.
And if you couldn't tell, Holly Schock is in the
Hi,
studio.
Hi, human.
Welcome back to the show, Holly. How's
I'm
it
finding
going?
dandy cotton candy. Thank you for asking me. I'm really happy to be here. I need
All
some more
right.
coffee.
Sorry.
We got a Keurig machine
Patrick,
out there.
I know why somebody ripped
karaoke
that pop filter off there. My beard keeps getting caught in this one.
No, Keurig. If you want some coffee, I could get you some coffee.
Oh, no, that's okay. I better calm down for a while.
All right, give me some coffee, Patrick.
You want some coffee?
I'm very
Better
excited
have-
to be here. Thank you for asking me. You got a heck of a show tonight.
Good job. I think we can say hell. It's all right.
Okay, well, crap.
'Cause-
Okay. You
What?
take it wrong.
What's that?
You want it strong?
Oh, yeah, strong.
Yeah. No, you got a great show tonight. I'm really thank you for letting
Sure,
me be
just
on.
throw a little bit of everything in there.
I'm not used to being up this early in the morning.
This early in the morning at 6
Yeah.
p.m.? Yeah, it is.
6 p.m.
I'm not used to being on the radio this early in the day.
I know.
There's
Yeah.
something wrong.
This reminds me of that night court episode where they do day court. I'm feeling kind of the same. It's very weird. I was like, oh, I have to go. It just felt so early. I'm like, there's daylight? I don't understand. What's happening?
Don't
Why
tell
am I
Patrick
going
I
to the
punched
live
his
radio
buttons.
show?
Yeah, you were the vampire. You should know.
I know. It was very dangerous for me. Luckily, it's overcast. Apparently,
true,
the
that's
winter
true.
overcast has finally set in. It'll be like
Yeah,
dusk.
I
for the
forgot to
next
give you the
6
full
months.
introduction, because Adrian Miller,
Vampire.
improv comedian, comic, and
Vampire.
vampire and Queen of the Dark. Is that
Yes.
and
prefer that
dungeon
title,
and
thank
Dungeon
you.
Master?
Yes, and Dungeon
Yes, I
Master.
don't-
Do not forget that.
I don't
That's-
want to leave anything out.
It's the
any
one
of
I'm
your
most
titles.
proud of.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you
Yes,
should
ma'am.
be, and you
You know,
should
you
be.
had to graduate. It's like, it took 2 years and
It took
tens
2
of
years
thousands
to
of
advance.
dollars. So I prefer that you remind
Right,
everyone
right.
of my title.
Well, yeah, you didn't go to
Over-
2 years of advanced vampiring.
No.
To be called to
No.
be called Princess of the Dark.
I know. My
You're the
thesis
queen
had to
now.
be you had to lure people. You had to build a dungeon by
Right.
hand. You couldn't
Well,
just
yeah,
go
you
and
have
get
to
one at Lowe's.
Right, you have to gather all your minions together. You
Yes.
hit the
Yes.
ground running when you come out of there. And that's the good thing about
Yeah, you have to get minion interns.
Yeah. Now it was night school, right?
Yeah, exactly. The night school students,
Right.
for credit.
Right.
You bring them in. Apparently, some need to shadow you, and
Right,
they need to
right.
have their shadow papers.
Yes, you have to have shadow.
The
we
shadow
have shadows
papers.
in the studio.
It's very
Geek them.
serious
Yeah.
business. Very
Yeah, it
serious
is,
business.
it is.
Vampire school.
Right. As it should be, because you don't want a bunch of inexperienced, untrained vampires running around.
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
just-
could ruin our good name.
well, yeah. Just think of what's at stake.
What's at stake?
Oh,
Man,
Wait.
Don, you had to go
I'm
there.
on
You
fire
had to go
today.
there.
I did. I did. Does that bring up some bad feelings?
I've
for you?
lost so many people to stakes and, again, accidents at Lowe's. A vampire has to do home improvements.
that's-
And
that would be
sometimes
terrible.
they're
Yeah.
a little tipsy. They might have, a lot
yeah,
of times
that's-
your victims are from bars. Here actually at Wright State,
No, I hope
kinda-
if you lost one of your minions to say there was an extra sharp dowel rod at the Home Depot. Would you be able to sue? Or is that just a hazard of the trade?
I think you're onto something.
I-
I've heard of vampires going into litigiousness, and people are like, how are they so
There's-
rich? Where do they get all the money? I would like to know. I'm a Dayton vampire. So that should tell you where my funds are. But some are rich, and I'm like, how do you get that money? That must be the secret.
Right. Right.
Plus hundreds of years of
Vampire
savings.
lawyers.
And you just named the episode of the show as the Litigious Vampire.
Litigious vampires. And I wish I had more energy. I'm really sorry. I might top myself off by taking a little bit of energy blood here. The extra caffeinated.
Okay. Well, I'd be careful with Holly's. It is caffeinated, but there's probably some drug residue in there.
A little
too.
bit of
You're
Tennessee
saying
still
that
in
like
there.
that's a bad thing.
No. I'm just saying, be careful.
can't
don't
take
want
actual drugs
I don't
as a
want a
vampire.
vampire ODing on my show. I don't want
No,
that to
that'd
happen.
be bad.
That would,
I'd have to be quarantined again.
corn what?
Quarantined.
Quarantine.
Quarantined.
Quarantined.
Well, any minute now the phone's going to ring. I hope because
boy.
we forgot to check it, Patrick. We forgot to check the phone. So
I didn't
I have
hear
my
it ring
notes.
when I was
yeah,
gone.
it has not gone yet.
I'm gonna take this
What's that?
staple out.
Yep, you take the staple out of your notes because you want
I
them
did-
quick
I
on
did-
the draw. You
I
don't
did
want them.
single.
These staple singers.
I did single page because I've noticed I've had problems in the past. If I do double sided, I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah, it's easy to
trees.
get lost when you're double.
Well, like,
I
you
don't
have to,
do
like, flip it.
double sided
Yeah.
on my news stories either.
You can't do it if you're doing audio. Like, don't do double sided.
This
Literally
is good radio,
ever.
by the way.
And it's in Klingon.
Just
in Klingon, too.
well, here I'll have the audio fully of
Okay.
flipping through the paper.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is what happens when you do double-sided printing, and then you have no page numbers,
Make
and
it
then you're
sound
like,
better.
and
Yeah,
you're going,
that's-
oh, so you were in, oh God, oh no, you were in,
Gonna have a bad time.
Fear the Walking Dead.
I'll have to change my laugh today.
Just for today.
Sorry, that's copyrighted by Mickey Mouse.
Did you get,
Well, Donald Duck's going to be on the show.
I know, that's going to be interesting.
I want him for a GPS.
I have so many questions about his reel, so many questions. I have so many,
See, you put so much more into this than
Oh,
I did.
you
I
could've
feel
just-
like as a host,
you-
I'm kind of slacking.
you could have put it on while you drank some coffee, and
Coffee, that's
and
the
rinsing it
problem.
from your beard.
Yeah.
You could have been like just have it in the background. It's beautiful.
You
There's our
filter your
phone.
coffee through your beer?
There's the phone call. All right.
Yay.
All right. Welcome to the Life Radio Show. Is this Bill Foster?
This is he.
Hey, how's it going,
Hi,
sir?
woo!
Oh, doing
We're
great.
barely clapping today.
Yep, everybody's cheering because we made it. We made it work. Whatever we have, the tech got the phone to work.
That's awesome. I just want to know, did you do a herky when you was cheering?
What's that?
Did you do a herky while you were cheering?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't see it. It's not good audio, but we totally did. We totally did
Right,
Erky.
That's awesome.
Well, in the studio with us, just to introduce you, Holly Schock is our guest right here.
Hi, human. How you doing?
Great.
Yep, she's just assuming you're human. I don't want to. We don't want to make too many assumptions. People identify as so many different things nowadays. So I hope she didn't offend you by calling you human.
No.
Okay, good.
I'm happy to be a human.
All
All
right.
right.
Perfect. Good to have proud humans.
Because we.
Yeah. And my guest co-host is sitting in, Adrienne Miller. She is a vampire, so she's sort of human.
I used to be a human,
Right.
And then I transitioned into a vampire.
Right.
Oh, cool. I've never
Yeah.
talked to a vampire before, but now's the first.
Well, that was the first time. I've
Yep.
never talked
Yeah.
to. I don't think it's been a while since I've talked to a cowboy before.
Cowboy, yeah.
Yeah, a cowboy
Yeah.
superintendent.
Yeah, cowboy,
you
superintendent, filmmaker, actor.
Yeah, slash
Bill
slash
Foster, all kinds
slash
of things.
writer.
Dang.
Wears as many hats as I do.
There
It's a
you go.
lot of. If you put Stetsons on top of Stetsons on top of Stetsons, is that how
me.
you wear your hats?
I have so many
I
hats.
just wear one big one.
One big
There
one.
you go. There you go. Like one of the big foam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite that big.
Just jiggle those spurs.
How many gallons?
Well, welcome
Yeah.
to the Life Radio Show. It's good to talk to you. Adrienne has researched.
I found one article from the Brownwood Bulletin that is your life story. Apparently,
Yeah, probably is.
it was very.
Did you
very
consent
thorough.
to that? Is that unauthorized biography or?
Yeah, there you go, unauthorized. They got most of it right. They did a really good job on that article.
Yeah, it's
That's
really.
good.
It actually is very well written. And it good links to all your books and everything, which was very helpful.
Thank you.
I don't know where you'd like to start. I like the detail in the article. My personal favorite is you retired, and then you, by accident, he sent his information and photo to the HBO production The Leftovers.
Right.
And that
By
mistake
accident.
resulted in a brief appearance.
That's right. I was actually going to try to send it into the Sun, which was on AMC, but sent it into The Leftovers by accident. So they used me for one day on The Leftovers, and then I went down with 1,500 other people in Austin to stand in line to see if I might get a chance at being on the Sun. And lo and behold, I got selected to be a recurring character, and so I got to be right up there on stage and work with Pierce Brosnan and right there in front of the camera with everybody, all the other big guys. So
Awesome.
It's been lucky ever since.
Yeah, that to send it in by accident, that's really that's a lot of luck there.
Better lucky than good any day.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
What led you to picking up acting?
Well, I can go all the way back to about my second or third grade year. The teacher went around the room asking the kids, or us, I was a kid at the time, what you want to be when you grow up. Well, the girl beside, I was going to say a movie star, and the girl beside me said movie star, and all the kids laughed at her. So I said, I'm not going to say that. I'm smarter than that. So I quickly changed professions at the moment. I don't even remember what I told them, but it wasn't movie star. And then you go ahead and you grow up and you go and make a living, and I'd retired. I always had that creative side to me. We helped with a high school and junior high theater a lot, and so when I was retired and saw that opening for the Sun, I thought, I might get lucky and actually walk down the street or something, in the background Western, because loving Westerns like I do, I thought, man, that'd be awesome. Little did I know I was going to be, selected to be his recurring character, and there's another name for that extra that's right in there with you. I'll think about it after I hang up. I'll think about the term. But,
You've been on. Well, it says you played the Law and Order man. Is your official IMDb?
The Law and Order Man.
The law. What is that? What is the Law and Order man? Help me get inside the character.
Yeah, that was like actually the KKK.
Wow.
All right.
I told my wife when I got cast and I found out what it was, I said, "You're not gonna like me." So I got to be a really bad guy. We didn't do it in hiding. We did it in the plain open, and our job in the movie was try to clean the town up, as they would say back then. And we'll leave it at that. And we hung a guy one night, and that was a pretty eerie experience, but, not really hung him, but,
Right,
the movie. But I scared my nephews to death one night. I didn't realize they'd changed topics. We was talking about the Sun, and I said, yeah, we hung this guy one night. And, and they had already moved on, and I didn't realize them. They said, you did what? And I said, oh, on the movie.
Yep. He's confessing to something. Get a tape recorder. We got to catch this.
We're going to make this a podcast.
We're not going to make our uncle mad now.
No, absolutely not.
There we go. Be good for
You got a lot more street cred now.
It seems like you've been typecast as a bunch of sort of bad dudes. Because I saw your, I tried to understand. I was trying to interpret your IMDb credits, and you have sort of a recurring role on Fear the Walking Dead
Yes,
as
I was
a vulture / walker.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So I assume it didn't go well.
Yeah, no, it seems like I keep getting cast to get killed. Everybody always wants to kill me or something. I don't know, die well or something.
Well, you and Don have that in common.
I do. I die in almost every movie or film that I'm in. Every TV show, movie, whatever it is, somebody's killing me. Usually a woman.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
Hey.
Yep, you two haven't killed me yet.
Not yet.
When you're cast to try to overthrow the main crew, main actor, your fate's probably not going to be real well.
Yeah, that's true.
That pretty well tells it like it is, and so when I got cast as a vulture, that was our ulterior motive, is to try to overthrow the main stars, and it really didn't come out as big a conflict as that they built it up to be, but it turned out okay because I got a really good close-up on the TV right before they killed me.
You're on the wiki. I saw you on the Fear the Walking Dead wiki, and they had your beautiful face. You had like a bandana thing going on or something, like a headband. And,
bird nest on top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty high. I was like, whoa, what product they got going on there?
Yeah, they told me, quit shaving in November. Now, I already had a pretty good beard
Yeah.
because I'd been elk hunting and everything. And I said, "What do you want me to use my beard?" They said, "Leave it. Do not touch it. Let your hair grow." And it got, as you could tell, pretty long and raggly there. And the makeup hair just had a big time with us because they put cornrows in my hair and they put feathers in my hair and this whatever, and I didn't care. It was a lot of fun. In fact, I cracked up the main crew, one day, the main actors there standing around doing their walkthrough, and so those extras, featured extras, we're standing there kind of circling around them. And they looked at me, and they got these feathers in my hair, and they're blowing in the wind, and one of them kind of laughed. I said, "Yeah, but I get really good radio reception."
That looked like a pretty cool costume. Like, I'm not going to lie, that looked fun.
They kind of all had to stop and laugh a minute and then get back to serious business. But yeah, an extra actually busted up the main crew that day, so... But it's been a lot of fun, and then they brought me back as a zombie so I could trim a beard up then. And,
I was going to say, like, prosthetics and beards don't really mix.
No,
they do not.
Extremely hot in that mask, and they brought me back. But I went from November to March or April without trimming my beard, so that's really how scraggly it got.
Wow.
And then, like I said, got to trim it up and got to be the walker for the rest of season 4, then all of season 5 got to be a walker. And that's an experience of its own. And then, then I started doing, casting and doing my own movie after that, and been busy with it ever since.
Yeah. So the movie that it's according to IMDb is filming or just finished filming Showdown
on the Brazos.
Yeah, there was a couple. I was trying to remember.
Yeah. We just wrapped that this weekend, and this past weekend on the acting side, we're about 80% through on the rough edits. And so, that started out, I entered a film contest before I ever did this movie back in 2017 or something. And I just shot it with a few friends and an iPhone, and I actually won. And the judge called me and said, "You won, but the contest is in a lawsuit right now, so there won't be any prizes." So, kind of gave me
there went that luck.
Man, there was $250, big prize money, but I was going to give all my actors $50 for doing it. But then, but gave me the idea. I thought, I'm going to shoot a little movie with the iPhone, see how much I can. Well, that went out the window because my 4 or 5 actors turned into over 200.
Wow.
And so I needed something better than an iPhone to try to film a movie that grandeur with.
That's true. iPhone's good for something short. Now, or short parts. I was in one where my director ran through a hospital with no permission, with about a crew of 2 people and like 3 actors, and filmed something with his iPhone that actually got out in a movie that is released. So,
I mean, if he hurted himself, then he would have immediate permission.
Right. He had to. Of course, he had to blur everything out that showed the hospital name. But he was running through there filming part of Black Mamba.
Oh, okay.
I think with Florida Project, they had a similar thing because they have the last scene is like they're actually in Disney World, but obviously you can't get any of that cleared.
Right.
Especially not for a dark take on Orlando.
Yeah.
Where they want people to come and spend money. So, yeah, I think they just took what was ever like a prosumer, you know what I mean, kind of camera, like someone, a tourist might possibly have on them, and posed as like, because it had kids and stuff, where it's like, oh, we're just shenanigans, just a family running through.
I'm brave, but I'm not that brave.
I'm like,
$1
that's pretty balls to the wall. I'm like, man, like, I don't want the mouse coming after me.
Yeah, I call that guerrilla filmmaking, when you just go in somewhere and do what you do with no permission at all.
I got my iPhone duct taped above my bed, so.
All right.
And we had a deal. You talk about brave.
Talk about brave.
We're sitting there, and I look over there. I'm busy directing that day, and I see these guys with these fancy cameras. I'm like, who are they? I don't know who they are. They're not part of our crew. And then come to find out, they were what they call headhunters. They come on set. They snuck on set. We had a closed set. We ended up running them off and deleting all their pictures and everything. But they come on set and try to film you filming, and then they go to their investor and say, "This is our movie," and try to get money for it.
Wow.
If I'd known that's what they were doing, I'd have done more than just run them off the set. But I didn't find out till later because everybody else was taking care of them. But I thought, boy, you learn something new every day. The audacity of people that would have done that,
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I can see that happening. I mean, we've had some weird people walk into some of our sets, but usually
Yeah.
it's just people get lost and we scare the heck out of them because we're all covered in blood.
Sledgehammers. And,
Now, do you do mostly westerns, or are you have you ventured into trying to make horror movies yet? Because we lost
Bill.
Bill.
put another dime in.
Yeah, we've lost Bill. All right.
It must have been the headhunters.
Yep, the headhunters. Yep, they're going. Well, that's the bad thing is they're recording this. They're going to say this is their podcast.
Yeah. This is the Ron Lith show.
Right. Right. The Rife Radio Show.
I was telling us who called it, but that old boy.
Let's see if we can get him back. He might still be talking. He just
That would be hilarious. Like if he kept talking for a good 2 minutes before you realized he's.
I've done that.
disconnected.
I've done
well,
that
we were
too,
still
where
talking.
you're in the middle of a
Yeah,
story.
There he is. We lost you, Bill. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
You know, in Green Acres where they had to crawl up the pole to get to the telephone,
Yeah, there you go.
I had to crawl around to the other side to get better reception.
All right. Yeah, that's. So you're out in Texas. Whereabouts? Are you out on
Right.
a ranch?
I'm out in the ranch right now, sitting on the front porch, drinking a very cold beverage. I will not say what it is. And, we're right in Central. In fact, before I called you a while ago, I went to town and she's bayed up over there in the brush pile. We dug for a while, couldn't find out what she was barking at, so she's still over there. She went off and left her. But yeah, we put in a vineyard, and we live just right in the middle of Texas, close to Stephenville, about 2 hours south of Fort Worth.
Cool. Yeah. It's a good place for cowboy movies.
Oh, you bet. You bet. We filmed all over Texas on Showdown on the Brazos. We filmed all the way from down south to up west of us to, we actually got a place on the Brazos River. We got to film some scenes in the Brazos River. And so it's pretty true and correct, Now, that came by luck, but at least we didn't have to fake that part of it.
Yeah, didn't have to CGI the river in there. That's
No, or just find the river and say it was the Brazos. It was actually the Brazos River. So
that's cool.
yeah, but crazy things happen. Like that day, it was really hot. One of the cameras completely fried. It got so hot it never worked again. Had these big old biting horse flies that were just eating everybody up. I was lucky. I was in the river 90% of the morning, so I just stayed submerged up to my chin, trying to stay out of the flies,
Yeah,
the things they don't tell you.
Yeah, usually up here on my film sets, we're freezing to death. I had several. There was one years ago I filmed, and my costume was actually a loincloth, which is a whole other story.
Yeah, baby.
And we were supposed to be done filming by the end of August. Well, it's into October. And we're out there in 32 degrees, and I have a loincloth on, and it was not a pleasant, pleasant experience.
Is that where you take your long beard and you knit yourself a
I
sweater
didn't have
like
the
a little
beard
bit?
at the time.
Oh,
I had no beard at the time.
What?
Yes, that was way back when I did not have a beard.
I can't even picture that. I mean, I guess I have seen you without a beard now that I think
Although
about
at 32 degrees,
You
my
don't need a
nipples
big
did rub a
loincloth
hole
at
through my
32
shirt.
Yeah, that's like that picture on Fear the Walking Dead. It was like that 32 degrees, a hard north wind blowing, distant rain.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to act warm. I know that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they, tell you lay down and the ground's muddy and wet, just almost freezing. It's like, this is fun, yeah.
Yep, this is exactly what I signed up for. The glamour.
That's exactly
This is the glamour of acting.
Yep, covered in mud and freezing my butt off. That's
Lesbian.
perfect.
Yeah, and then the last scene we did, we were in grass up to our chest in the middle of the summer with those hot masks on. And one of the assistant directors, he said, I feel for you, because he said, I want to see what it looked like from the mask side. He said, I put the mask on and immediately called for first aid. Man, it's quick. Come here, get this thing off of me. You have to carry those masks on your hand with your hand up in the mask so it sits just right. You don't lay it down. And the sweat's dripping off your elbow, so those things do not breathe at all. Latex just has a way of not breathing well.
I would
That's
not
true.
be a good geek if I didn't ask you about Alita, Battle Angel,
Oh, yeah.
and playing the drunk. Who did you work with? Jimmy C or Robbie R?
Christoph Waltz is who I worked with.
Yeah. Wow.
And we were. I just come in from elk hunting. This is the first year I went elk hunting. So we'd be on the street long, and so I woke up and they take about 20 of us back to the set, and that whole city was made just for Alito, an old airport, and then they CGI'd the rest of it. But this one guy, he said, "You come in with me." He's mad, but of course everybody on set's usually mad anyway. So he says, "You sit down right there on that street corner, and you're going to be a drunk." I said, "Okay, I can do that. All I do is college practicing. I got this figured out."
Yep.
Were you
You
like,
buy
I'm
it?
a method actor on this?
That's right. That's right. I always said I'm a method extra. And his boss walks by and he says, "Is this your drunk?" And he said, "Yes, sir." "Oh, good choice. That's a good choice for a drunk."
Typecasting.
To make it worse, the assistant director under Robert Rodriguez comes over and he asks the next boss to go in line and says, "Is this the choice for drunk?" He said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Excellent choice. Let's get him on film." I'm just like, man, how bad do I really look? You know? But even a funnier story is I'm sitting there and the assistant director walks around and this real pretty girl's over to my left. And he said, "What's she going to do?" They said, "Well, she's going to walk a bicycle behind Christoph Waltz." He said, "Lose the bicycle. I'll just lose the girl. Get her out of here. We don't need her." And then he looked to the guy to my right and he said, "What's he doing?" They told him. He said, "We don't need him. Get him off the set. We don't need him over there." He walked over to me and said, "This guy?" And they said, "Yeah." And I'm starting to stand up because I think I'm out of there. He said, "I want the cameras right on him. I want to focus on him." So they all run. You know, I got 15 people around with those little light digit things. You know, I'm sitting there going, "This is pretty nice."
What's your favorite thing that you've been in so far?
Not counting my own movie would probably be The Sun.
Yeah.
Getting to work with Pierce Brosnan and James Parks. You know, it was just a great set. And, I had an epiphany one day because they brought us in the back of the movie set. We couldn't see it. And when we walked out, it's like walking back in time. You know, there's all the horses, the smoke, the smells, everything. I just stood there for a second trying to soak it all in. Then they're like, hurry up, come on, let's go. Like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Oh, that's right, we're making something.
Yeah, that's right. And I got to be in a fight scene with Pierce, and after it was over with, he shook my hand and said, "Good job, chap." And I was like, did anybody get a picture or hear that? You know?
Were you one of the saloon people murdered in Buster Scruggs?
I was in that one, yes. I was right there when Chauncey Brown got shot. Mm-hmm. Not the cantina, but the saloon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know, he goes from the cantina, shoots those 4 guys,
yeah.
And then he goes into the saloon, and then he kicks the table, and Chauncey Brown, shoots himself with a pistol. I'm in that scene, and you can see me plain as day, because when he starts singing and walks to the piano player, that's me sitting right there with an old top hat on, smoking a big cigar.
Oh, cool.
And when we went out there and getting to work for the Coen brothers was amazing, and
yeah.
And we go out there for the fitting, and the guy, the hair artist, he comes running up to me. He says, "Oh, I love your beard. Can I do anything with it?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" And that razor goes up my chin to my lip. I said, "Maybe I wasn't meaning that." And they gave me these Chester MacArthur mustache sideburn things. So,
nice.
Oh, wow.
And I had to wear those like 2 weeks, and I wouldn't go in the store and nothing. It looked so bad.
Do you ask for the Fear the Walking Dead from one of the Walker masks to go out?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
no,
right now?
I'd rather be a zombie.
Yeah, that's right. And, so when I went back up there, they said, you let this fill back in. I said, dang right I did. So they trimmed it back up. And then when I got through shooting that, and that's 4 days, I got back, I trimmed it down really short so it can grow back out pretty quick. But, getting to work with Coen brothers, and we're sitting there at a table, and I said, "Guys, Ethan's coming this way." I call him Ethan now, just we're on first date. And he came over and he put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Sir, would you mind doing just this?" And I said, "Man, I'll jump off the balcony if you want me to." No, we don't have to do it that extreme, but if you'll just do this right here. I said, "Okay." Those 2 brothers are amazing. If it'd been me and my brother, we'd have had 3 fist fights every day.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. One of them set the scene up, and they'd shoot it, and the other one go in there and change it a little bit, and they'd shoot it, and they'd sit there and talk, and they just went back and forth like that all day long. And their assistants have to tell them, okay, shut it down. We've already gone 14 hours. These guys are dying over here.
Yeah.
So, but they were amazing to work with.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to have to do the comedy rundown. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be doing news stories. Did you want to stick around with us for some news stories?
You bet. Can't wait.
All right, cool.
All right.
Well, we'll be back here shortly. I'm going to go ahead and hit the comedy rundown. Here's this week's comedy rundown, brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Tuesday, November 26th, tonight, open mic at Peach's Grill at 104 Xenia Avenue in Yellow Springs. That show starts at 8 p.m. There's also an open mic at the Growler Pub at 3808 Wilmington Pike. That show starts at 8 p.m. Wednesday, November 27th, open mic at Mila's Suburban Cafe at 606 Taywood Road in Englewood. That show starts at 7 p.m. There's also an open mic at the South Park Tavern at 1301 Wayne Avenue. There's a lot of shows today, by the way. 1301 Wayne Avenue. That show starts at 9 p.m. There's an open mic at the Buckeye Sports Lodge at 126 West High Street in Springfield. That show starts at 8 p.m. And Desi Banks and Friends is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Thursday, November 28th, open mic at the Spirited Goat at 118 Dayton Street in Yellow Springs. That show starts at 7 p.m. There's also an open mic at the Barrel House at 417 East 3rd Street from 8:30 to 11. And don't forget about the open mic at the Hookah Bazaar at 958 Patterson Road. That show starts at 10 p.m. Sign-ups if you want some stage time are at 9:30 with Johnny Woods. Also on Thursday, the Barrel of Laughs Comedy Show at the Barrel at 857 West Central in Springboro. That show starts at 8:30. And the Star City Brewery open mic at 319 South 2nd Street in Miamisburg from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday, November 29th, Matt Rife is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. And the Black Friday Comedy Explosion is at the Dayton Taste at 2555 Shiloh Springs Road in Trotwood. Friday and Saturday, November 29th and 30th, Cry for Help is at the Wiley's Comedy Club at the Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in the Oregon District. Saturday, November 30th, Marcy Rock presents comedy night at the Uptown Lounge. I'm going to make it through this at 1253 West 3rd Street. And Country Wayne is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Sunday, November 1st, Laugh Already He Knows Comedy Tours at Wiley's Comedy Club. This is a clean show with Dayton's own Mike Logan. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. I almost survived it. And I believe we still have an open mic on Mondays at 7 p.m. at the Barrel at 857 West Central in Springboro, and an open mic at the Stage Door, I still believe, is going on Monday nights as well. All right, Patrick, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We're going to play some St. Mary, St. Michael. This is off his album, Another Anodyne, Do I Love You Less? Not talking to you, Patrick. That's the name of the song. Go ahead and hit it.
Sad songs, is it because I'm sad too? I tell them no, they're just stories that I have, not what I feel, 'cause I have you. Have a point, why don't I write songs for you? Why can't my actions speak for themselves? As far as I'm concerned, it's not what you say, but what you do.
I was talking to this one woman for a little while, and like this is just does not code for anything. I don't do good, obviously. You've seen me up here, right? You hear me talk, like she's like, I'm still friends with 85% of my ex-boyfriends, and all I could think is 85% requires a divisor of at least 20. That is as far as you can break that fraction down right there. It's like 17 over 20, 85%. What if she meant like 34 out of 40 or 153 boyfriends out of 180? I don't care how you break it down. She's had way too many dudes in her denominator.
And I want to look them straight in the eye, and I want to tell them what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! All these... Where's the Tylenol?
Patrick. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick almost had radio silence for a second. Good timing. Good timing. He got us back. Hey, welcome back to the Life Radio Show.
Yay!
Every time. That's my fan club. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host, the vampire, the Queen of the Damned, Queen of the Dark, or Queen of the Damned.
That's
Queen
also
of the Damned Dark. That's
Queen of the Damned Dark.
I mean, Queen of the Damned in Louisiana. She might be a little upset, but you know what? She's have to come up here to Dayton to fight me.
Usurp the Queen of the Damned.
That's right.
Take it
She
over.
doesn't care. I'm from Dayton.
Exactly. Adrian Miller.
Yay, Adrian.
Thank you.
And Holly Schock is our cheerleader.
Hi, everybody. What's happening? What's going on, people of the world?
And we're still on the phone with Bill Foster.
I'm so happy about that.
Hey.
Way.
And we've got some important news of the day that we have to cover.
Very important.
I don't even know what half of it.
The news you'll miss literally anywhere else.
Right. Exactly,
It's so important.
Exactly. Firefighters in Australia have gained attention for leaving a note apologizing for drinking a man's milk. Not a man's milk, but a man's milk.
Now that's news, buddy.
After they saved his house from a wildfire. Paul Sekfi of New South Wales posted the handwritten note on Facebook, which was signed by the Urunga Rural Fire Service. I can't say any of those words on the air. It was our pleasure to save your house. Sorry we could not save your sheds, the note said. P.S. We owe you some milk. Firefighter Hardy Porter was a part of the team sent to the house and told CNN that Patrick just broke the microphone. That he and the other firefighters took some milk due to not having eaten anything for hours. Sefke noted the firefighters also had cheese and peanut butter, which he was okay with. It was the milk that crossed the line.
Well, they had the peanut butter, and then their mouth got all gummy, so then they had to have the milk.
Right.
Clearly.
And it was man's milk. I would have never drank that. That just sounds disgusting.
Wouldn't that be a shocker?
They were going to cook a wallaby, too, but they
They're
decided
like, we drank your milk. He's like, what milk?
Got milk? Not me.
Yeah, did you have to bite so hard when you did, though? That's the thing.
Look, I'm good for it. I knew that you guys are working so hard, putting out my fire, but
but when you start to suckle,
Yeah,
we're
one of
done.
Don't use
Your
cheese.
job here is finished.
One of the firemen's nicknames was Vitamin D, so.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that was also the man's dog's peanut butter. So, yeah, that
Only in
that
Australia.
Only
In
in Australia. Only in Australia. The population of a tiny Canadian island off the coast of Maine is demanding their government start a year-round ferry service or build a new bridge to the mainland. Patrick, are you okay? Okay. We'll be all right. Or build a new bridge to the mainland to keep American customs officials from opening what they say is nearly every piece of mail they've been getting for over a year. Campobello Island sits in the Bay of Fundy off the coast of the province of New Brunswick, but the only way to easily access the island outside of the summer months is via Maine. This means mail headed to the island residents from other parts of Canada must leave the country and drive for nearly an hour in a sealed truck through the state before it returns to its final destination back in Canada. This was rarely too much of an issue for the island's nearly 800 residents. Many of them cross the border each and every day to go to work in the mainland, New Brunswick, or even in Maine itself. Former U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt even used to vacation on the island. Everything changed, though, once Canada's government legalized recreational cannabis just over a year ago. So now,
now they don't care.
So now everybody's going through their mail looking for weed, is what they're doing. That's
well, if they need a ferry over there, I can move.
I just figured, it's a hub of terrorism. That's why they were, checking their mail. I'm kind of scared of that, area,
yeah, up in Maine, and the little island off there. Never trust an island.
Is that the bay that has the largest tide difference?
I have no idea.
It's Bay of Fundy or whatever.
Fundy, yeah,
I think it has a crazy. If you look up pictures, it has a crazy tidal difference. I thought it was maybe a tide issue. There's no water in the bay when you first started talking about it. And they're like, we can't have a ferry because there's no water.
Yeah,
during certain times of the year.
Yeah, you can't have a dry ferry.
No.
I agree.
It's just like boats on the ground. It's like the water just goes completely out, and then it's like a full harbor.
Well, then they need an amphibious vehicle.
Yes,
an amphibious ferry.
Amphibious ferry.
Yeah, amphibious. I've seen a porn movie called that.
Jeez. Yes, there's a ferry service. Because I know it's wacky news. I started having all sorts of different ideas about what that could mean.
That's true.
I'm like, what kind of ferry?
Yep, a ferry
service?
Really?
They're like, no, Adrian, Ferry. You've been doing D&D too long. Not okay.
Yeah, that's.
Well, if you don't have any tide, try all temperature or something.
Right,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's just use a new detergent.
Yeah.
Just hope you don't break out in a rash.
Yeah.
Speaking of rat, no.
Yeah, you got to be careful saying ferry anymore because people never know. I went out to San Francisco on vacation several years ago, and when I came back, somebody said, "What did you do out there?" I said, "Well, I rode a ferry to a penal colony." Woohoo! Because I went to see Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh.
Yeah, so you have to get on a ferry and ride him out to a penal colony.
You get that special shower tour they have over there.
Well, they just look at you. You're clearly typecast as someone about to be murdered by a woman.
That's true.
And they're like, this sounds about right. A guy who's about to get murdered, he would say something.
Yeah, I should really tell you guys about the text message I got from my estranged wife, but I'm not going to on the air.
You've done it before.
That's true. I've done it.
It's only a 3-hour show.
No, it was a short text message. But,
okay.
She had to sign paperwork saying that she wasn't going to hurt me.
Oh,
thanks.
Her therapist made her.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
Well, because her therapist asked if I was in any danger, and the answer apparently involved life insurance money. So.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, I love my life.
I'll take out a policy tomorrow.
Tacos.
Tacos.
Is there anything they can't do? That marvel of Mexican food has at least one true believer, Tucson, Arizona resident Ryan Bishop. He credits a taco as the reason he narrowly avoided being struck by a bullet.
Wow.
Bishop, this is a long story. Bishop was approaching the Pima County Fairgrounds entrance.
Boy.
The what
Pima
county?
Pima County. Not the Pima County Fairgrounds entrance in his car early Sunday afternoon when suddenly the window on the driver's side shattered, according to Tucson station KOLD-TV, which Tucson is anything but cold. I had a very loud explosion happen in my window. That is the weirdest way to say that. Had a very loud explosion happen in my window, Bishop told the station. He said that at first he thought a rock broke it, and he decided to pull over and inspect. Bad idea. I opened the door, took a look around, and I hear this pop, 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 he said. So I get in my car and continue driving. Yeah, no kidding. He pulled over eventually and called the police, who soon arrived at the scene. They discovered a bullet sitting on his dashboard, and that's when Bishop focused on the taco he had been eating when the shots rang out. Bishop told KOLD he normally drives with his car window down, with his arm on the window ledge, the same spot where the bullet hit his car. I'm pretty sure eating a taco saved my life, or at least stopped my arm from getting blown apart, he said. I had the window closed because I didn't want pieces of the taco flying around.
Rather have the shell of the taco than the shell of the bullet.
Exactly.
Whoa,
exactly.
that was wonderful, Patrick.
The wordplay on here.
The
Fierce.
shell of the taco. That would be a good name for
The
your
audio
show.
engineer
Shell of it.
speaks.
Well, I already have a name for this episode, and I'm keeping that one.
It's
'cause
called Butch is Flirting with Adrian. Yeah, I
Nope,
just
it's
called
the
it.
litigious vampires and the amphibious fairies.
Amphibious fairies. Wow.
So yeah, that's another Bill. That's another thing we do on this show. Is the main purpose is just coming up with an episode title. That's really a big part of the reason for this show is to come up with band names and episode titles.
Yep,
So
improv groups,
improv
they're looking
group
for
names,
names.
whatever we can find, maybe even movie titles if you really want to make a crazy one.
Well, amphibious
Make the
fairies.
title and figure a movie to go with it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Amphibious fairies would be useless when you don't have that bay water.
that's true. That's
talking
true.
about, so
But
That'd
if
be
you have a
restrictive.
river that your ranch overlooks,
Yeah, there
you
go.
might need a
Yeah.
ferry across it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you might have a drought. And then you need an
Ambiguous.
ambiguous, ambitious drought fairy.
Yeah, an ambitious
Worst-
drought fairy.
Not all of us can be a wordsmith audio engineer, okay?
That'd be Ferry Bueller's Day Off.
Hares straying too close, as in the
What?
four-legged jumping around hares. Not these hares, not my beard hairs. Hares straying too close to the runways at Dublin Airport in Ireland are being sucked up into the engines on
man.
taxiing planes, reports said. There-
I know that's what I'm like, wait, what? Like they
Yeah.
hop at the wrong
Yeah.
moment.
How many Easters on my God?
Yeah, hippity
It's like a cartoon.
There's no Easter in Ireland today, folks. We hair free.
We have some bad news, children.
Hair club for men.
Yeah.
Well, they had a guy catching it and having bunny burgers on the backside of the.
There you go. Bunny
guy-
burgers on the backside. That's another great.
Some guy standing there with hamburger buns behind the. I got one.
Yeah.
Wow.
There have been 54 incidents of animals being ingested by plane engines. That's a weird way to put it.
I know. I'm always like,
That's a weird word.
it's like airplanes are very hungry.
because it's in quotes. It's quotes ingested.
I guess the plane was hungry.
By
They can't go swimming an hour later. An hour later.
they'll get indigestion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ingested by plane engines since January 1st of this year, the Irish Post reports, citing data from the Dublin Airport Authority. Bird strikes accounted for 43 of those cases, while 11 hares living in the grassy areas near the runways accounted for the rest, according to the DAA. Hair obstructions.
For men. That's for men. Hair obstructions for men.
Hair obstructions for men. Hair obstructions reportedly were considered even more dangerous than bird strikes, since the remains of the fluffy animals could spread over a large area of the engine. The splatter then could attract flocks of birds, causing further problems, according to the Post reporting. Wow.
First the hare
Yeah.
and then the bird.
Yeah, who knew hair was so dangerous? I better shave.
So
It's
crazy,
November. You can't do
That's
that.
true.
Crazy
that's true.
hairs lead to flock of seagulls.
They did have some
there
crazy
you
hair
go.
back in the day.
Crazy hair.
It holds true through all eras.
Exactly. Even in Ireland.
Even in
All
Ireland.
cultures, the flock of seagulls had crazy hair.
Yeah, and I guess I've learned, as Holly pointed out, just don't eat the airplane food on Irish Airlines. You don't know where
Oh,
it came from,
Yep.
especially if it's ground
Where it
meat.
came from.
Yeah.
Quick cook though. That's a quick cook.
We made some rabbit hair stew, some traditional Irish.
Well,
Irish
they
Cajun.
Like what?
definitely need to sell rabbit's foot keychains on the
Yeah, yeah, that's
Sky
not-
Mall. Sky
Irish
Mall needs
Cajun
to-
style.
Yeah,
Oh,
Is Butch still got? Welcome
Butch
back
is
to the
still
show,
flirting.
Butch. Butch is listening in. I believe Butch is out in Texas, actually. Don't look him up.
You're not going to find him with that name anyway.
Yep. Hold on, just a second. You guys talk amongst yourself. I got to take this real quick. Hey,
Oh.
Sam, how's it going?
So Butch apparently now is flirting with Bill.
oh.
He's like, do you need a sugarless daddy, Bill?
I think I will be. I think I will pass on that. I'll be hanging up.
Oh, gosh.
Hairs.
So yeah, right now Don is talking with the next guest, I believe, on how to call the station.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I need to go anyway, so
Well, it was fun having you, Bill.
it was a blast.
Here comes Don.
Sorry about that.
He's multilingual.
Exactly. I'm just
Donald.
talking everywhere.
Yeah. No, let's do a blast. I'll have to head on out.
No,
I'll let you get your next guest.
Oh well, he called in early. He thought it was 10 till 7 instead of 10 after 7.
Stupid
so we're
time
still
zones.
good. We have time for another news story if we want.
Okay, let's
Yay.
do one more. Yeah.
Okay, we have a Florida man. So I
gotta
got
have a
Yay.
we love Florida man stories.
We almost got through the night.
I got a couple in a row. I'm going to have to save one for the next hour. A Florida man was arrested after he allegedly spit food into a woman's mouth in a bizarre road rage incident.
What?
David Whipperman.
That name, Whipperman.
Whip it good. 61 was taken into custody Thursday in connection with the incident October 29th when Whipperman got out of his truck and approached a woman driving nearby just before 6 p.m. It's unclear where the two were during the encounter, but Whipperman walked up to the woman and she rolled down her window of her sedan to apologize, according to the Tampa Bay Times. That's when authorities say the man spit the food he was chewing at her. The food struck the victim in the face and entered her mouth. An arrest report states. That's some Florida road rage right there.
I have guys pay good money to have that done.
Yeah, that costs extra where
That
I'm
costs
from.
extra.
It's that taco from the bullet in his mouth, and he's
Yeah,
throwing it in the
he drove all the way from Tucson and still had the same taco that he was spitting out on people. That's a spitting taco. is
Oh,
what that is.
that's just, I don't know what
You got to have a spitting road taco.
with
That's
some,
a great band name.
with some ground hair for the meat.
Yeah.
brown hair.
Brown hair.
Yeah, you just throw it in that jet food processor.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's not ground hair. That's air hair.
Like if you have the Can It Blend like viral like YouTube thing. I wonder if you can have the Can It Ingest with like jet engines. Like that could be the next like viral marketing is
There
just
you
like
go.
throwing things into jet engines and seeing if it'll like spit it back out.
Yeah, that's probably something they had on Mythbusters already.
Probably.
Throw a frozen turkey in there, see what it does.
Yeah, just see if it goes on the produce aisle. Just
there
throw
actually
things.
is a job out there to test airplane engines and windshields by launching turkeys at them.
Really?
Oh, really?
I actually covered this story on the show like 2-3 years ago, where there actually is a job where you get paid to launch turkeys. They won't be frozen because they'd go right through the window.
Yeah.
But yeah, they pay you to launch turkeys at the fronts of airplanes.
I mean, if everyone's had a
That's the
frozen
job I want.
turkey and have to chase it around the kitchen, like I have in my family, who are not good cooks,
That's vampire turkeys.
those are pretty deadly. You know, frozen
Yeah.
turkey once it gets some maximum velocity.
Oh yeah,
going
absolutely,
around, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, they're
but
pretty
you don't
scary.
want. It's not likely that the bird strike is going to be with the frozen turkey.
Lost Bill again.
Oh well.
But, you know, do you get after that?
He might have
because
just gotten tired.
The turkey got him.
they shoot mothers-in-laws at the planes too.
Yeah. I'm going to see. I'm going to see if he's calling back in or if we're good. Yeah. This is silent air right now.
Yeah,
while
yeah,
I'm
this is
texting.
good radio.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
reading
Lots
some
of
of
good
the.
audio here.
Welcome to the mime show.
Yeah, Butch has got all kinds of stuff up there. He's just,
Yeah.
he's just having fun by himself. Yep,
Aw.
spitting tacos. Sometimes you run into those, Butch. I've had my share.
He's having fun by himself.
I think we're being stalked by an Amy behind us too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my next guest is already out there. Had one guest try to call in
Up.
already.
Touch my Amy.
There's the title for you.
It hasn't come through yet. She's going to hear that in about 2 seconds.
Now she heard it.
There we
The
go.
delay got to.
750 miles per hour. A
Yep,
second.
it is that kind of show tonight, Amy.
You know, I forgot about that. She's like, oh, I guess she didn't think I was. Well, there it is.
I can't wait till we get to the third hour.
Whoop, there it is. Yep.
All right.
Okay, well, I guess we've
I need
lost
help.
Bill. I hope everything's all right. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to let him know we're going to move
Oh,
on.
okay.
And,
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'll call him when we go to break
Well,
here in a couple minutes.
my dad will be excited. He likes westerns a lot. He's
I've
very much
been in
like
a few westerns myself.
he's like, I miss
love
them. Why don't they make westerns anymore?
Tell him to look up Calamity Jane's Revenge. I believe he
Okay.
can still get a DVD on Amazon.
Okay.
And that's a Henrik Kuto movie where I get killed by Aaron R. Ryan,
Okay.
who plays Calamity Jane. I get
okay.
killed with my own pistol that she takes out of my holster while I'm taking a leak.
Oh, perfect.
Which is
that
which
sounds
is
in character.
which at
Which
least
pistol did she kill you with?
now you're getting personal. Pat.
Pistol whip.
Very
Pistol
yeah.
whip. Pistol whip.
It's the Whitman pistol.
Yeah, the Whipperman. I got pistol Whipperman.
That's
when somebody spits a taco on your face while they're whooping your ass.
Wow.
That was one of my favorite vaudeville actors, Pistol Whipperman.
Yep.
I
man.
forgot to say, when I was looking up Bill Foster, the name, I had to be like, wait, it's not Bill Foster, who is the MC on The Man Show. It was not Bill Foster, apparently the pioneering African-American filmmaker of the early 20th century.
That could, well, you never know. You never know.
Get the right
Yeah.
Bill Foster. It was very, like...
Yeah, what do you think of that, Bill? Hey?
Now,
What'd you say?
we're about
Hey?
at the top of the hour, so we're going to have to take a break. Holly, do you have any shows you want to plug before you run out of here?
Well, actually, no, I want to thank you for being in the show a couple of weeks ago. That went so well that I can actually say that the next, I'm going to be, I think at Wiley's in a couple of weeks. And then I got like June and December for that, my show, Comedy at the Courtyard. I'm going to be on, on Andrew's show in January.
Oh, Gem City Tonight.
Gem City Tonight. And the movie that I just got done filming with a bunch of the other women for Miss Microphone.
Oh,
that's
cool.
in process right now, and that's going to be released next year as at some film theaters, and it's going to be like a Netflix thing, I think.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in. We're going to have to go ahead and take our top of the hour break. Always,
Great. It's
always a
fun.
pleasure to have you.
Well, I had a wonderful
Always.
time. I learned so much today, and I got about a ton of movies to go watch tonight when I get home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially Battle Angel, because
Yeah.
now I know that scene. Now I'm going to have to watch that scene there.
All right, we're going to take a break. We will be back here shortly with Amy James, and we'll be talking on the line with Sam Quasman.
Yay!
Or Donald Duck. Depends on who he wants to be. All right, so we'll be back here shortly. Patrick? Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we are on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM. You can also stream the show live at WWSU1069.org, and we go Facebook Live at the Life Radio Show's Facebook page. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.